Aron Mor, who joins us from Tel Aviv. He's a former senior advisor to the Israeli Prime Minister's office on Holocaust restitution. Again, thanks for joining us. Hopefully the audio issues have been rectified. I had been saying earlier how amazing it is that, 75 years after Auschwitz was liberated, the images we see are still some of the hardest images to look at in photographic history. You have been seeing them a lot over the last few days. You've been seeing all the remembrance ceremonies. Tell us what this day actually means to you.
Please say it again.
What does this day mean to you?
What they mean to me? Well, they are. We need to remember that they are the wars are fought twice. First time on the battlefield, and the second time in memory. What we see many times now is that the second battle is fought. What it means to me is that genocide and looting of property are inseparable. Once you separate them, you lose track. And this is what's happening now. And it's a great shame. Because by dealing with restitution of looted property from the Holocaust era, one can create processes for the future. For example, if Poland and Israel and the Jewish people would create a joint fund with heirless property for Holocaust memory, for programs for youth, for delegations to exchange countries, for many other programs and projects, then this would mean something today and also to the future generations.
Okay, I'll ask you how you feel when you see, acts of genocide actually committed around the world today in our very contemporary history. Do you feel humanity has, failed to teach the lessons of the Holocaust?
That's a very important question. Yes and no, because the process that started in the 1990s with Holocaust restitution led also to dealing with Holocaust memory. And it's going on now, and it will go on also into the future. Whether it is effective, that's another question, because the latest Pew survey in America found out that only 45% of people and youth know anything about the Holocaust, and they even don't know that 6 million Jews were exterminated. So there is a lot to do there, but it's happening, and there are organizations and people very devoted to it who are keeping it and keeping it on the public agenda. Once it's on the public agenda, the politicians find it easier to deal with it. And therefore, in my opinion, yes, we have a chance of having it for a long time in our memories.
Okay. I need to ask you one question to address some of the critics, among them Israelis themselves, who say the identity of Israel is overly defined by the Holocaust, and that the Jewish people identify themselves today, even according to the genetics that were used against them by the Nazis, and that the Holocaust, though it cannot be forgotten, it cannot be and should not be what defines Israelis today and the state of Israel. What do you say to that?
Yes, the establishment of the state and also very many of the Israeli reactions to what's happening around them and in the world are committed to the Holocaust. The Holocaust is overshadowing them. Saying that, there are instances recently that the Holocaust is used like a merchandise for political willing and dealing that, in my opinion, is very painful and harms the memory of the Holocaust. For example, the deal that Israel has done with Poland, or the Israeli Prime Minister has done with the Prime Minister of Poland on Holocaust memory, even though the Poles backtracked, is harmful to that, because it gives the feeling that the Holocaust is now no more sacred. There is nothing sacred in it. And this is very painful to many people, especially Holocaust survivors. And it also harms the moral position, moral obligation of Israel and the Jewish people.
Okay, Aron Mor, we're going to have to leave it there. I'd like to thank you for joining us live from Tel Aviv.